In a momentous turn of events, the colossal financial behemoth, China's renowned real estate developer Evergrande Group, saddled with a staggering debt of 2.44 trillion Chinese yuan, has finally been officially ordered to liquidate by the Hong Kong High Court on January 29. Evergrande Group, at times perplexing to Western observers, has inflicted prolonged suffering upon countless Chinese homebuyers, leaving them with unfinished properties after investing their life savings. Is it easy for ordinary folks? We sold both of our houses, all of our assets, just to buy an Evergrande property because Evergrande is a Fortune Global 500 company. As an electric vehicle brand, their cars have seldom been seen on the roads, only making appearances at car shows, devoid of suspension systems and brake mechanisms, only showcased as chassis. As a company, they even maintain a top-tier dance troupe brimming with stunning performers, responsible for carrying out covert soft power campaigns outside of China. Among all countries and regions worldwide, only 44 have a GDP exceeding 2 trillion Chinese yuan. This means that Evergrande's debt load is on par with the GDP of the 44th largest economy in the world. Portugal's public debt of $306.7 billion in 2022 is less than Evergrande's massive debt of $340 billion. Imagine this: if you were to buy a lottery ticket and win 5 million yuan before taxes every day, it would take you 1,337 years of continuous winning to match Evergrande's debt burden. Subtract Evergrande's total assets of 1.84 trillion Chinese yuan, their net assets are a staggering negative 599 billion Chinese yuan. Moreover, the so-called total assets are merely book values, and whether they can find buyers at these prices remains a question. Following the issuance of the liquidation order by the Hong Kong court, China Evergrande, Evergrande Auto, and Evergrande Property suspended trading during the day. Prior to the trading halt, China Evergrande's stock price plummeted by more than 21%. Evergrande Auto fell by over 18%, and Evergrande Property dipped by 3%. The entire liquidation process is optimistically estimated to take at least 5 years, given that Evergrande's assets span both domestic and international territories. Verification of asset quantities and values, assessment of related equity statuses, and discussions with various rights holders and creditors on debt resolution will all require time, particularly since most assets and creditors are located within mainland China, involving different provinces and legal processes, which further complicate and hinders the liquidation process. Since China Evergrande is a limited company registered in the Cayman Islands, including Evergrande Group and its mainland affiliates, it can still appeal against the liquidation order after it has been issued, but cannot impede the liquidation process from proceeding. Additionally, most of Evergrande's projects are operated by local subsidiaries, making it difficult for overseas liquidators to take over these projects. According to financial reports, as of the end of 2022, Evergrande's contractual liabilities amounted to 721 billion yuan. This debt pertains to properties sold to customers but not yet delivered, meaning that Evergrande owes product to 720,000 families, assuming that each property is priced at 1 million yuan. What's even more distressing for the owners of these unfinished properties is that Evergrande is on the brink of collapse. Looking solely at the financial reports, it is evident to everyone that the likelihood of completing all deliveries is extremely low. Evergrande has a meager 4.3 billion yuan in cash on hand, while its short-term liabilities soar to 587.1 billion yuan. In other words, with this limited cash, Evergrande cannot meet even one substantial debt payment. Consequently, we can expect to witness one creditor after another in the courtroom with only one objective: getting paid back. Once the cash flow is entirely cut off, Evergrande will become incapacitated, unable to sustain operations, let alone generate profits. At present, the assets of value for Evergrande are its land reserves and Evergrande Property. In 2022, Evergrande Property achieved approximately 11.8 billion yuan in operating revenue and a net profit of about 1.48 billion yuan. To clear the 2.44 trillion yuan debt, relying on this company alone would require 1,622 years, not including interest. However, financial reports reveal that Evergrande's interest-bearing debt exceeds 1.7 trillion yuan, which means an annual interest payment of nearly 30 billion yuan. Even Evergrande Property's profits falls far short of covering a tenth of the total interest payment. Evergrande's land reserves amount to 240 million square meters, a seemingly substantial figure, but its primary land reserves are not in city centers, but in the outskirts. Moreover, according to Evergrande Group's 2019 annual report, as of December 31, 2019, Evergrande's total planned construction area for land reserves amounted to 293 million square meters, with an average cost of 1,800 yuan per square meter. These land reserves would be valued at a maximum of just over 400 billion yuan in the current downturn of the real estate industry, with potential discounts if sold. In other words, even if Evergrande sells all of its land, it would not be sufficient to repay its short-term debt of over 500 billion yuan, let alone the long-term and delivery-related liabilities. Evergrande's funeral will be crowded with banks, suppliers, service providers, and countless distressed homebuyers. All creditors and owners of unfinished properties will have to accept a painful reality. No one will foot the bill. While the financially insolvent Evergrande faces bankruptcy, its chairman, Xu Jiayin, and his wife, Ding Yumei, control Evergrande through offshore trust structures and are not legal representatives of any domestic Evergrande entity. According to the legal provisions that shareholders are not jointly liable for the company's debt, Mr. Xu's billions in Hong Kong dollars in dividends need not be used to repay the debt. Furthermore, Xu Jiayin and Ding Yumei have allegedly engaged in a technical divorce, transferring assets overseas, leaving all losses to be borne by banks, suppliers, buyers of unfinished properties, and investors in financial products. Only Xu Jiayin and a group of highly paid Evergrande executives stand to profit from this event. Evergrande's collapse, coupled with colossal losses, is borne by countless entities and individuals outside of Evergrande, a hallmark of business with Chinese characteristics. For Western observers, this event may raise numerous questions. How did Evergrande manage to amass trillions in debt? Why did so many creditors ignore the risks and lend such enormous sums to it? Why were there no warnings? Why did everyone lose their judgment? Why did a seemingly financially transparent publicly traded company keep everyone in the dark until the 11th hour? The answers to the myriad questions about Evergrande may ultimately be traced back to Xu Jiayin, the man behind Evergrande, and the vast and opaque system of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. From humble beginnings to briefly becoming China's richest individual and now facing the law, Xu Jiayin, the chairman of Evergrande's board, has experienced a legendary journey that could arguably only happen in China. Xu Jiayin has twice joined national leaders in Beijing for celebrations, enjoying an unparalleled level of prestige. Even China's high-profile billionaires, such as Jack Ma of Alibaba, Ma Huateng of Tencent, or Ren Zhengfei, the head of Huawei, have never received such treatment. The phrase enforcement measures according to law is a distinctively Chinese expression, appearing vague at first glance, but in reality, no one knows whether Xu Jiayin is currently detained in a detention center, imprisoned, under house arrest, or even passed away. Official details have not been disclosed, and the outside world can only speculate. As early as 2012, the American short-selling firm Citron Research had issued a lengthy 57-page report on Evergrande, listing numerous alleged misdeeds committed by the company. These included financial misstatements in Evergrande's financial statements, using deceptive accounting methods to embellish its reports, concealing the fact that its assets did not cover its liabilities. The report also alleged that Evergrande bribed local officials to acquire land and raw materials at prices significantly below market rates, which could lead to charges of illegal land acquisition under Chinese law, resulting in substantial fines and land reclamation. Evergrande had also constructed a complex Ponzi-style financing scheme with a series of potential financial and operational risks, including excessive leverage, cash flow insufficiency, and high-risk trust financing. Citron even claimed that Xu Jiayin's academic credentials were forged and that he secretly used asset transactions to finance the company. The report listed 7 major crises facing Evergrande, including a sharp drop in cash flow, high interest debt, continued declines in pre-sales, the low-price sale of critical assets to related parties, economically unviable projects undertaken to maintain pre-sales, a significant reduction in contracted sales, and substantial discounts, among others. However, at the time, besides a sharp drop in the stock price on the day of the report's release, Evergrande subsequently rebounded and stabilized. Evergrande and Xu Jiayin emerged unscathed, while Citron's founder was fined and banned from the Hong Kong market for allegedly disseminating false information and short-selling Evergrande in 2016. Years later, it is now evident that Citron's report was uncannily prescient. It's hard to fathom how a company like Evergrande could continue to prosper for a decade in China without deep-rooted connections. There have been claims that the reason Evergrande applied for bankruptcy protection in the United States was primarily to protect the assets of CCP elites, including the families of former CCP Politburo Standing Committee member and Vice President of China, Zheng Qinghong, and the former CCP Politburo Standing Committee member and chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, Jia Zhengling, who are rumored to be Xu Jiayin's powerful backers. Allegedly, Evergrande sought to secure the transfer of assets held by these elites overseas and leave the mess to be cleaned up by party head Xi Jinping. While these claims cannot be verified, in the opaque world of the People's Republic of China, it is an open secret that behind the leading corporations lie the shadows of CCP-led families. Those well-known Chinese entrepreneurs and regulars on the rich list are nothing more than puppets of the CCP's powerful elite. When Xu Jiayin was riding high, he was surrounded by a retinue of followers wherever he went, as if he were a king on tour. Renowned Chinese collector Ma Weidu once recounted Xu Jiayin's extravagant kingly demeanor on a Phoenix TV program. Without explicitly naming him, this video clip has widely circulated on China's domestic internet, sparking fervent discussions. Xu Jiayin walked in and saw teacher Ma coming, and with a shake of his shoulders, someone immediately took the coat from behind. It's definitely better than a movie. When Xu Jiayin was talking to me, with this gesture of his hand, someone immediately stuffed a big cigar between his fingers. As Xu Jiayin talked to me, it was completely like a movie lens. He said he hired an American coach to achieve his style. He took a sip, stretched out his hand, and someone immediately took the cigar away. For a significant period, the relationship between Xu Jiayin and Chinese actress Fan Bingbing has been a subject of discussion, widely circulated as one of the most talked about gossip topics among people. In 2010, Evergrande ventured into the film and television industry by investing in Fan Bingbing's studio, becoming the studio's largest shareholder. It was Xu Jiayin's financial backing that enabled Fan Bingbing's studio to produce TV dramas like The Empress of China, Win the World, and The King's Daughter, assisting Fan Bingbing in reaching the pinnacle of the entertainment industry. In 2012, Fan Bingbing personally attended an Evergrande opening, achieving a remarkable 1 billion yuan in sales on the opening day. Since then, Xu and Fan have maintained various overt and covert collaborations in the business world. Even Evergrande's spring water brand derives its name from the character Bing in Fan Bingbing's name. It is rumored that when Fan Bingbing faced an 880 million yuan penalty in 2018 due to a contract scandal, Xu Jiayin assisted her through the difficult times. Not only is Xu Jiayin leading an extravagant and luxurious life, but an exposed dossier on the internet has also revealed that top executives within Evergrande lead similarly extravagant lives. There is a document which details the preferences of various level leaders within Evergrande, including their favorite hotel rooms, preferred restaurants, and leisure activities. For instance, Xu Jiayin has 14 detailed notes, such as his preference for consuming only imported fruits like Japanese greenhouse melons, Japanese green grapes, and Sunny King watermelons. Additionally, he enjoys singing at karaoke while simultaneously drinking Royal Salute whiskey mixed with soda. Vice President of the real estate group and Xu Jiayin's son, Xu Tenghe, has even more detailed preferences, like specified brands of bottled water, specific brands for toiletries and liquor, multiple bodyguards and secretaries, and numerous other opulent details that are astounding. After the Evergrande National Song and Dance Troupe was exposed, it gained widespread attention on domestic social media platforms. This troupe boasts a selection of beautiful women, with its leader, Bai Shanshan, driving an excessively luxurious sports car and residing in a top-tier mansion worth hundreds of millions. Why would members of an internal corporate dance troupe, unrelated to Evergrande's main business, enjoy such high treatment? According to media reports, this song and dance troupe serves as Xu Jiayin's secret weapon of seduction and has helped him win over many officials. Some even have drawn parallel between Xu Jiayin's Evergrande song and dance troupe and North Korea's Pleasure Squad. Given these revelations, it becomes evident why Evergrande, despite its numerous shortcomings, has continued to flourish over the years. Chinese social media have exposed a mysterious 42nd floor at Evergrande's Shenzhen headquarters, which is not accessible to just anyone. It is said that Xu Jiayin's wife, Ding Yumei, visited this floor once and emerged with a somber expression. This floor is purportedly designed specifically for buying the favor of corrupt high-ranking CCP officials. It remains unclear how many secrets it harbors concerning Xu Jiayin's involvement with various high-ranking officials. Whether it's doubts about Xu Jiayin supporting the song and dance troupe or concerns regarding the mysterious 42nd floor, these speculations are not baseless. It is a well-known fact that corrupt CCP officials are attracted to private clubs established by businessmen, as many recently disgraced officials have been reported for frequenting such places. High-end private clubs have, in reality, become convenient venues for trading influence and favors. Therefore, one might wonder if various provincial and ministerial level officials involved in real estate development across the country have also left their marks at the Evergrande Red Mansion. Xu Jiayin's ability to participate in the 2021 CCP anniversary celebration in Beijing likely stemmed from gaining the favor of then-Minister of the Central Propaganda Department and a member of the political bureau responsible for propaganda. Currently, through Xi Jinping's trusted confidant, Li Xi, who oversees the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, it is highly likely that surveillance footage from the mysterious 42nd floor at Evergrande has been confiscated, with evidence of influential individuals indulging in lavish parties and compromising videos involving beautiful dancers. Xi Jinping may regain leverage over various high-ranking officials. Internal power struggles within the CCP never end, and from the perspective of ordinary citizens, Xu Jiayin, who often portrays himself as a king, is merely a pawn. The other shoe will soon drop. The liquidation of Evergrande signifies the end of China's real estate industry. The large-scale commercialization of China's real estate industry began when Zhu Rongji served as prime minister, designating it as a pillar of industry. However, it spiraled out of control during the era of Premier Wen Jiabao, and its growth stagnated under Premier Li Qiang's time. Shortly after taking office, Premier Li announced the end of the real estate dream. Evergrande's rise and fall are closely linked to collusion within CCP officials and extravagant corruption. Evergrande serves as a microcosm of China's real estate industry, and on a larger scale, it represents a concentrated form of the Chinese dream. When the dream fades, everything will dissipate like bubbles. The ripple effects of Evergrande's liquidation have other major Chinese real estate developers trembling in fear. The driving force behind China's rapid economic growth over the past 20 years has mainly been foreign trade and real estate. Now that both have come to a standstill, it signifies an economic crisis in China. This crisis is far from what the CCP's official statements suggest, attributing the decline to consumer pessimism. Instead, it is a structural issue within China's economy, one that cannot be easily influenced by the will of its leaders or rectified through isolated policy adjustments. Whether it's prominent real estate companies in China or the Chinese government itself, they have followed a consistent path of high-leverage, debt-fueled development, often at the expense of its own citizens. The bursting of the real estate bubble today is a result of the unsustainable nature of this development model. Moreover, the looming threat of government debt within China is far greater and more terrifying than the real estate industry's defaults. Evergrande's current fate serves as a forewarning of the eventual failure of the CCP.